All right, we are back. The lawyers have been sort of lining things up and talking with the clients, talking among each other. We've got a number of pretrials, two of which are quite involved. So we're gonna just get to it. Mr. Bush, have you got anything ready?
I have 3 pleas ready.
All right, very good. All right, who do you want to do first?
Why don't we take care of Nathan Venture?
All right, Mr. Van Deventer, would you come forward, please? Have a seat there with your lawyer. Good afternoon. Are you Nathan Van Deventer?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're from Paw and you're charged with driving suspended first offense. That's a misdemeanor. It's punishable by up to 93 days in jail and a fine of up to $500. You pled not guilty at your arraignment, also pled not guilty at the attorney pretrial. We scheduled the matter for today. Joshua Robert is here with Abigail Stoll on behalf of the prosecution. Mr. Bush, what's the status here?
My client's going to admit to driving suspended first. It's our belief and understanding that if we went to trial, he would be charged driving suspended second.
All right, driving suspended second. Is a misdemeanor punishable by up to a year in jail and a fine of up to $1,000. Requires a suspension of your license. I think this came up at an earlier pretrial. Shows you are suspended. You have a previous no operator's license in Cassopolis in 23, another unlawful use of a license in Cass in 2022, another one in 2022. All right. Anybody threaten you to get you to plead to that charge?
No, Your Honor.
Or promise you anything?
No.
Do you understand that if you do plead to this charge, you'll be giving up your right to have a trial in front of a judge or jury? There will be no trial. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
If you had a trial, you'd have the right to be represented by an attorney. Mr. Bush has been appointed to represent you. You could also hire an attorney of your own choosing if you wished. If you had a trial, you'd have a right to have any of the witnesses for or against you subpoenaed to come to court so they could be questioned under oath. You would have the right to take the witness stand and testify on your own behalf, but you don't have to because you have a right not to testify. And if you did not wish to testify, the judge or jury could not hold your silence against you. And you have the right to be presumed innocent unless the state was able to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. All right. Were you driving a car here in St. Joseph County on May 9th?
Yes, I was.
Was your license suspended at that time?
Yes, I was.
What's your connection down here? There's Van Deventers from here in St. Joe County. Do you still live in Paw Paw?
No, I moved here about a year ago, alone.
All right. And where do you live?
431 9th Street in Three Rivers.
All right. You think you told me that last time. You had a pre-exam set for Tuesday. What happened to that one?
He executed a waiver, Your Honor.
All right. So that case has been, waiver. I probably didn't see him. All right.
Judge Middleton.
Okay. I really didn't see him. Are you working someplace?
Yeah, I work for Lee Corners Construction.
Oh, yeah, we talked about that. There's another guy also working there that I talked to him yesterday, I think. How'd you get here?
My mother.
I asked the other guy what you were working on. What's your project right now?
I'm flipping a house over on Walnut Street. It's one of the older houses in Three Rivers. I'm pretty much single-handedly doing all the work. I have a little masonry business too.
What's the number on Walnut Street?
614.
I used to deliver newspapers over that neighborhood when I was a kid.
I guess the house is 160 years old.
I'm not that old.
It's got quite a lot of attention though. A lot of people know about it.
I'll drive down there. All right, well, I'm not gonna put you in jail for this. I'm gonna give you a fine, some time to pay it. This is further gonna go on your driving record and cause you to continue to be suspended, you understand?
I do.
You could get from where you're living to the Walnut Street on a bike or even walk, I suppose.
That's what I've been doing.
$75 fine, $75 crime victims' rights fee, $50 state minimum fee, and $150 attorney fee. That adds up to $350. Many, many years ago, driving suspended second carried a mandatory minimum 5-day jail sentence. Come a long way from that. Now there's a presumption that there won't be a jail sentence that the court has to overcome. And there's nothing aggravated about this other than the fact that there's a couple priors. Can you pay that within 30 days or would you rather do a payment plan?
Payment plan. I have a lot of fines right now.
Where are those?
On my fines, I'm paying off. I'm on probation for child support.
Which county?
I did Cass, but it just got turned over.
Okay.
here. Most of my money goes to that. The deal is once it's paid off, I get off probation.
All right, that sounds like an incentive. Well, where were you going? Do you remember?
I was in a bank parking lot and I had to go to the post office to get a money order for child support. And the officer passed me and then I drove down to Shell and he pulled me over to Shell.
Where were you coming from?
Worked.
Whose car were you driving?
Leaves.
He can get in trouble for letting you drive a car, but now he probably knows that.
That's, yeah, no,
All right, I'm gonna have the court officer take you out to set up that payment plan. And this matter is resolved. It will go on your driving record, but I didn't order any additional jail time. Your other matter is bound over to circuit court. The last thing you need in your life right now is methamphetamine. It's expensive, it's debilitating and just getting in your way. So hopefully you can deal with that. You're good to go, sir.
Thank
Go down to the-
thank you, Your Honor.
Antonio Wayne Lee Wilson. Good afternoon, Mr. Wilson.
Good.
We got a lot going on here. Not as bad as our next case, but still a lot. File 251017 alleges operating with no valid license on June 2nd. File 25807 SM alleges no insurance under the insurance code and some civil infraction. I'm not sure. That was offense date April 30th. Accompanying that is no valid operator's license. Failed to yield to emergency vehicle, and that's attached to the April 30th incident. April 7th, driving with no insurance under the insurance code. That is file number 25643 SM. And that same date, April 7th, driving without a valid operator's license. And there's one more, speeding. I think that's also April 7th. So we got April 7th, April 30th, and June 2nd. Mr. Aubert as here on behalf of the prosecutor's office. What's the plea offer here?
There was a package offer made of pleading guilty to the speeding ticket in 25643 SM. And also a count of no insurance. And then pleading guilty to the failure to yield to an emergency vehicle that's part of the 25807 SM file. The remainder of the charges would be dismissed.
That's a pretty sweet deal, Mr. Wilson. There's no ops attached to that. Speeding in this particular variety. $95 and a $55 carries a $200 fine, and I believe that carries 4 points. No insurance under the insurance code is a misdemeanor, carries a fine of not less than $200, not more than $500, and does not carry a suspension. And failure to yield is a civil infraction, and that carries, let me find that one. $145 fine, and I believe that carries 2 points. You understand? Anybody promise you to get you to plead to that
No,
or threaten you?
no.
Well, let me get into these files. I'll have to chase them a little bit. Let's go to April 30th, the fail to yield, that is in civil infraction. I'm looking for a copy of the ticket. Not in that file. You got a ticket at 10 o'clock in the morning, M60 in Fulton Road near Leonidas, operating with no insurance, drive without a valid license, failed to yield for an emergency vehicle. And that's all it says. Were you driving down M60 at Fulton Road at that time?
Yeah.
Where were you going?
I was just driving around.
Without a valid license.
Yeah.
All right, just in the morning, you have any destination in mind?
No, not really.
And was there an emergency vehicle pulled over to the side of the road?
Yeah, but it was, I don't know. I was just more like looking for like a safer spot to pull over. If that makes sense.
And so
Like I
you didn't pull over? Is that true?
Hmm.
You didn't pull over in a timely manner?
I mean, I don't know what the time is. I mean, like, I feel like, no, I didn't.
All right. Well, it's a civil infraction, 3 points. All right, that carries $145 fine within 30 days. That would be October 4th. That's failure to yield. Emergency vehicle. So there's the first one. Was it envisioned, which one would be the no insurance? And I guess we can do that on the April 7th matter. Were you driving a car here in St. Joseph County on April 7th and you didn't have valid insurance on the car?
Mhm.
You remember we were going back on April 7th? Let me see if I can tell you where it
Yeah,
was.
where was it?
643. That was at Lutz Road and Woodside Lane. Again, ahead of speeding,
Oh, yeah.
97 miles an hour. Where were you going that day?
Uh, to my friend's house.
Did you not have valid insurance at that time?
No.
And the speeding was April 7th. Were you going 97 miles an hour?
Yeah.
Why?
I was trying to go around I was trying to go around cars.
You have an Audi?
Mhm.
Yes. Is it a tuner car or just a regular car?
That's a regular car.
Um, that is a $200 fine. Due October 4th. So you got $345 worth of civil infractions. One carries 3 points, one carries 4 points. All right, what's left is the sentence on the no insurance. That's punishable by up to a year in jail. The no opses are all dismissed, which is a sweet deal for you. Are you doing anything to get your license?
He showed today, he has his temporary instruction
Do you
permit
really?
issued on August 12th. That's partly why the prosecutor was willing to work with him a little bit today.
All right, these are gonna hit your driving record. I'm not sure what's gonna do to your ability to get your license, because they're both moving violations. It might delay your ability to get your license. Do you understand?
Yeah. About long.
I don't know, 90 to 180 days. I'm not positive, it may not, but I'll give you the worst case scenario. When the Secretary of State sees these, they're not gonna be very impressed. Are you working someplace?
No.
How do you afford this car?
I mean, I bought the car off a while ago, and right now I just I take care of my grandma. Come and take care of my grandma. Right now, well, I've been doing that.
Well, you owe a lot of money.
Yeah.
How about if I can't wipe out the civil infractions, but I can wipe out the misdemeanor fine? How about if we just do a bunch of jail time and I wipe out the fine on the misdemeanor? Not a good idea?
Jail time? How much in jail time?
Well, about 1,000 days. Maybe I'll wake you up. You're in la la land,
No.
driving around. I don't know, I'm just driving around with no driver's license. Then there's an emergency vehicle and I don't pull over. And then I'm driving around, I'm going 90 freaking 7 miles an hour on Lutz Road at Woodside Lane where it goes like this. You might have a death wish, but the other person in the other car don't have one. That's an extremely dangerous spot to be going that fast. There's a lot of blind hills. It's straight, but it's hilly. I can't give you 1,000 days, but maybe that'd be longer but I could put you in jail and you're like, ugh, not taking this very seriously. You owe me a bunch of money. So far, you owe $345 and no insurance carries a minimum $200 fine. So you're convicted of a couple of civil infractions. That's punishable by a fine only. They're not even crimes. You did manage to get your permit, so that's something. So what I'm really sentencing on is no insurance, which is not all that serious of a crime. Miss Baker likes it so much, she has about 6 of them. But and that one is expensive, $200 minimum fine, $75 crime victims' rights fee, $50 state minimum fee, $150 attorney fee. I think that's $475, 200 plus 150 plus 50 plus 75. It's 475 plus 345. You know, $820 altogether. I'm gonna give you some additional time in the no insurance case. I'm gonna give you until December 1st. So you came out of this with no suspension, no ops on your license, 2 civil infractions, and this insurance charge, which is not included in the moving violation. All right, you get 3 envelopes. My fear is I'm gonna see you again before very long. So don't drive in violation of your permit or all the wheels will fall off. And try to do what you need to do to get your license. You're good to go.
Thank you.
All right, good luck, sir. Is Mr. Bakarowski here?
He was a no-show as of last time I checked the hall, Your Honor.
All right, well then let's deal with Miss Baker.
Do you want me to go out again and see if,
No, we'll deal with her and then we'll check on him. Well, give me a minute, Miss Baker. I misplaced your file. Did I send out Autumn Baker's face sheet?
I don't think so, because I don't think I've received anything.
Well, you're about to get that.
Yep.
And
That's in here.
I didn't see it. I thought I had it at one
I think
time.
I see it.
You found it?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. All right.
What else is behind there? I think I gave you 2 things.
All right. Jenny came in and rescued me. This is Autumn Rachel Baker. She's charged with no insurance under the insurance code. Let's talk about this one, Miss Baker. Mr. Wilson had a couple of these. This is alleged to have occurred on April 18th in Centerville. They gave you a warning on unregistered vehicle and wrote you a ticket for no valid insurance. That's a misdemeanor. It's punishable by up to a year in jail and a fine of up to $500, not less than $200. So the minimum fine with the $200 minimum fine the state costs is $325. Doesn't carry any points. It's not under the motor vehicle code. It's under the insurance code. And as I mentioned, you have several previous convictions of this sort of thing. You have $2,012 worth of unpaid tickets. Part of your problem is you live in Centerville and every time you breathe sideways, they pull you over. But you keep driving without insurance. No insurance, reduced from no proof of insurance, file 249058. You owe $204. No proof of insurance, 2005, 1017, $204. Another no proof of insurance, 25749, and that one you owe $90. Then you got some plate violations and some other stuff, mostly just driving while poor. So this is the fourth no proof of insurance charge you've had in a year. I believe you're on some sort of payment plan. I don't know when did you make your last payment?
Yesterday. I was gonna make another one today.
All right, well, let's chip away at it. All right, are you gonna plead, what's the plea agreement here?
Yeah, she was able to show that the vehicle is insured now, so that they did offer her no proof of insurance today.
All right. That's a civil infraction. That's punishable by a fine only. And I'm just gonna make it part of the payment plan that you're already on. You can't keep driving around with no insurance, but maybe you got insurance. Mr. Robert, you confirm the plea offer?
That's,
So Ms.
Stoll is-
Stoll?
that's correct.
All right, well, you thank Ms. Stoll for this gift, because I contemplated putting you in jail. I don't very often on no insurance, but when you just keep driving with no insurance, and I said this probably to you, when you get in an accident with no insurance, it's super expensive because the other guy's insurance company is gonna then sue you. Because it's not covered by the no fault statute. All right, do you acknowledge that on that day back on April 18th, you were driving here in Centerville without valid proof of insurance in the car?
Yes.
What are you doing now, Miss Baker? Are you working someplace?
No, I clean my sister's house every week.
Well, he wasn't very happy about it, but Judge Stutzman sent Caron Fuller to prison a couple weeks ago, and that's changed your life circumstance. Plus, you still got other cases pending. He didn't want to do it, but he did. All right, fine and cost is $150. Part of existing payment plan. How much did you pay yesterday?
160.
All right, very good. These aren't evil, heinous crimes. There's two kinds of crimes they teach you about in law school. Malum prohibitum. That means it's a crime because somebody said it was. Not having a license plate on your car is not inherently dangerous to society, but they say you have to have it. Malum in se means it's just bad. Killing somebody, stealing something, punching somebody in the face. That's bad because it's bad. None of these are that. They're all malum prohibitum, things that the state says you're supposed to do that you don't do. But you have valid insurance now, you're making payments on it. Prosecutor saw fit to reduce it to a civil infraction. And so be it. If I don't see you for a while, you probably don't want to come between your hearings and Karan's hearings. I've probably seen you 20 times. This, not that, but I bet I've seen you 10 times. How about if you don't come back for a while?
That's my plan.
All right, you take her out to the counter and she can make that part of the existing payment plan. Gerald Anthony Bekarowski is not present. This is 25801 SM. Let's speak to that a little bit. Mr. Bush, have you had any contact with him?
No, I sent him a letter to 214 East Main Street in Centerville, told him the date and time of the pretrial conference. That letter was sent July 16th. The letter has not been returned to my office.
He has another last pretrial with Attorney Yancey scheduled for October 30th. Attorney Harden, excuse me. I don't know what. He was here on something else. He came in to make a payment in July and there was an open warrant for him. So I arraigned him, gave him a PR bond, appointed a lawyer for him, and he repaid me by not showing up.
We're just finishing the record.
Yeah,
on
go ahead. All right, you want me to stop this for a minute? All right, well, I'm gonna issue a warrant for Mr. Bakarowski with a $1,000 cash or surety bond, 48 hours to turn himself in. That's not the record.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, the address that you sent it to is the same address we
You don't
have.
have that address?
No, he has some.
I have a phone number in the file. I'll give him a call. See if
All right, well, if you can get him over here, he can come in right now. Just down the street.
Actually, I gotta wait around. I have a meeting at 4:30 with Stickley's fine. I'm
Oh,
literally
all
here
right.
for the next hour and a half.
Okay, well, I'll be here.
If we can get him here, that would literally work today.
I'll go over and knock on his door.
Mr. Middleton, are you still on the record?
I'm on the live feed, so yeah, give me a second. We're not on the record. But let me shut this off. Yeah, Mr. Bekarowski's also got some other problems. All right, Mr. Bakarowski, if you don't get in here, you got a bench warrant with $1,000 bond. Maybe Mr. Bush can get you from 214 East Main Street. If you had a good arm, you could throw a baseball that far. Maybe you could. I don't think I could anymore, but All right, literally just down the street from the courthouse. All right, I'll stop the live stream while we're discussing.
Attorney Hall, did you have any concerns about the document that I sent you? I have been,
I was just
Okay.
now reading it because for some reason I was looking at your other email chain and I was not able to. This is a different email chain with the court, so I probably not. Um,
Thank you.
yes, that's looks good to me.
Okay, thank you.
All right. This matter was set for 1:15, and my apologies. I blocked out the entire afternoon for a trial on this matter. The title of the case is Riverside Estates versus Amanda Boyer. Riverside Estates is the name of a small trailer park campsite place on Withers Road here in St. Joe County. They are represented by attorney Dana Hull from the Swistack Levine Law Firm. The defendant, Amanda Boyer, is present and she's represented by Megan Bauer. We had several previous hearings in this matter, dating back to June. I thought we were close to resolving the matter in August, but we weren't. I set the matter for hearing for August 13th. It wasn't resolved. There was an escrow order in place. I believe the defendant has paid. I wasn't clear. Escrow for, I think, June and July, but I don't believe escrow was paid for August. Anyway, the matter was set for a hearing today. This is filed as a non-payment of rent case. And defendant, which is a whole issue, whether you can file a demand for non-payment of rent case in a mobile home case. But I think this is lot and trailer. So the defendant raised a number of habitability issues, and I'm concerned about some of those at this park. Some photographs and other documents were presented. An exhibit list was presented today, but I'm advised by Attorney Bauer that a settlement has been reached. I gave Ms. Hull permission to appear by Zoom. And Ms. Bauer is here live with her client. So Ms. Bauer, what's the status here?
Good afternoon. Thank you, Your Honor. You are correct that there are 2 months paid into escrow. Ms. Boyer was prepared to pay the third month today, but we have, as you've indicated, reached resolution on the matter in the case. At this time, the parties have agreed to a conditional dismissal of the case on the terms that Ms. Boyer and her family will return the keys and vacate the premises on or before October 5th of 2025. And the amount of money in escrow currently should be released to the plaintiff. And the release of that escrow will satisfy the outstanding, account between the parties through the last day of occupancy, whether that be October 5th or earlier. Ms. Boyer does not want to stay there any longer than necessary in light of the positive bacteriological tests at with the water and the other issues that you referenced on the record. The parties have agreed that the security deposit's not contemplated by this agreement, so it'll be handled in the ordinary course. Ms. Boyer will follow the security deposit law or the Landlord-Tenant Relationships Act with regard to her forwarding address. And the case is to be dismissed now on the condition that Ms. Boyd and her family follow the terms of this agreement. And as long as they remain vacated from the premises, the case will stay dismissed. However, if the tenants have not vacated on or before the 5th, then on or after Monday, October 6th, the plaintiff is free to file an affidavit of default, request reinstatement of the case, file an affidavit of default, and ask the court to enter an immediate judgment of possession and sheriff's order to be immediately issued to Sergeant Morse or the sheriff of plaintiff's choosing. However, if the court is not satisfied that Ms. Boyer has defaulted on the terms of the agreement, then the case is to remain dismissed.
Ms. Hall, do you hear everything that Ms. Bauer said? And you agree with that? If she vacates by October 5th, case will be dismissed. Effective today or tomorrow, the escrow funds will be remitted to the plaintiff, and that will resolve the case. I couldn't hear you.
I said, yes, that's our agreement.
All right, thank you. Ms. Boyer, do you understand that if you don't vacate, you'd be subject to immediate eviction?
Yes.
Now, I went out there this morning. Actually, I did 3 things in that neighborhood. I also viewed a garage that's being built without a permit and another problem property in that same vicinity. So I killed 3 birds with 1 stone. There were 5 cars at your lot. Are you in lot 22?
Mm-hmm.
It's the last trailer on the end. Yeah, there were a bunch of cars parked there this morning at about 10 o'clock, 4 or 5. And Ms. Hall, I had invited one of your colleagues to come view this property. I think you'd have a new perspective on it. I suspect every one of those taps is full of E. coli bacteria. That park has been there as long as I've been alive. Everybody is flushing their toilet out of the same groundwater where the wells are. As far as I could tell, there's no sewage treatment facility. There's a couple of outhouse kind of bathhouse things. Anyway, so I think there's some serious issues with the sanitation there. But by this agreement, we don't join that issue. You simply agree to vacate.
Yes.
Now, frankly, you should have vacated a long time ago. The sooner you get out of there, the better off for you. But I had this situation, I mentioned this more than once here on the record, of another place that I call the health department. And they were reluctant to go condemn it and make everybody that was there homeless. It was a larger park than this. But I suspect the problem you had is with others. But as I said, there were how many people are living there?
Me and my 3 kids.
Do
So
you know who all the
the
other cars were?
And I'm the only one that's got the vehicle there. There's a burgundy car there, but there's a green van behind me. That's where other people live. And maybe across the street at a yellow house, but
This is as you go around the curve at the bottom of the ravine there?
it's not at the bottom. It's like when you pull straight in, you go straight back and you can turn and then
Yes.
go down. Yeah.
It's
more
lot
than-
22, the last trailer in
Yep.
the row.
On the right.
Yeah, there were 4 or 5 trailers parked there, or cars parked there. So maybe they went to the adjoining lot or something.
Maybe, I don't know.
There was some sort of dilapidated structure in the back, like a shed or something.
It did look crowded when I was there, Judge.
But I think it's just where it's so small. There's like no space. You got a truck here, a van here, my vehicle here, one in the driveway,
Right.
and then,
Well, you're gonna leave the property.
yes.
I was told there was 2 $400 payments, but I don't think that's right. Rent is $9.95 per month. I think you made 2 installment payments of $9.95.
That's correct, Judge. I don't have the receipts printed, but Ms. Boyer did send me
Are we talking? Yeah.
the escrow, yeah. Um, It was in multiple portions, but I think that has to do with money orders being limited.
All right,
Yeah,
all right. Does anybody have the order or you gotta present it to me?
I have an order right here, Judge.
May I see it?
Absolutely. May I indicate one additional thing for the record, Judge?
Yes,
There is an additional named defendant, Mr. Alan Freshour.
Yes.
I told him that because we had reached settlement and he was represented, and to avoid losing his job, that it was better that he attend his work again because he was represented. So he has consented to the terms of the settlement as
all right.
well.
It's Amanda Boyer and all occupants.
yeah.
And this
I have
order
the-
says Amanda Boyer et al. All right, it's signed by
Okay.
Megan Bauer, Amanda Boyer, on the record for Alan Freshour and Miss Hull, formerly, you're now Dana Holm.
Depends on who you ask, I guess. My main name is Holm. I'm going back to that. The state bar hasn't changed it yet, so it's,
I'll call you by what you prefer, but I've known you as Dana Hall. And we have your consent on the record to this agreement?
yes.
All right, you have a little more than a month to vacate, which I certainly encourage you to do.
Judge, I'll indicate that Ms. Boyer has been diligently working and has something in the works.
Good. All right, Ms. Hull, thank you. And I'm glad I didn't drag you all the way down here for this settlement, but I know you and your firm's been working on settling this. But you've heard my concerns about this park. This issue's gonna come up again.
It is, Your Honor, I've never dealt with this part in particular, however, I haven't seen the well water gets tested weekly and there hasn't been, to my knowledge, a bad test coming back, except I think there was one in July and then they tested again the next day and it was fine. So if anybody has one, I'd
All right.
like to.
Maybe there's more to it. But, okay. Anyway, this case is resolved. We don't have to join that issue. I'll give you the file to the bailiff. I'll take you get a copy of the order of conditional dismissal. One way or the other, you're gonna be out of there by this October the 6th. And that's good for everybody concerned. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I guess I'm all set then. Thank you.
Yes, you are. Thank you.
All right,
Thank you, Attorney
let's
Hall.
talk about that.
Thanks.
Judge Middleton's courtroom gave us a good cross-section of everyday justice, from license suspensions to landlord-tenant disputes, with a few colorful detours in between. He kicked things off with Nathan Van Deventer, who admitted to driving on a suspended license. The judge handled it in his trademark style, firm about the seriousness of the charge, but conversational enough to draw out details about Nathan's job, housing, and even the house flipping project he's working on in Three Rivers. Tell Middleton wasn't interested in hammering him with jail time. Instead, he set a fine and a payment plan, nudging the defendant toward responsibility while keeping the tone approachable. Then came Antonio Wayne Lee Wilson, who brought a stack of driving issues ranging from no insurance to going 97 in a 55. That's the kind of speed Judge Middleton doesn't let slide lightly. His comments about maybe you've got a death wish were sharp but not cruel. Just a reality check about how dangerous those hills and blind curves can be. Wilson's soft-spoken, and at times you could see him trying to rationalize why he hadn't pulled over promptly or why he was speeding. The judge wasn't buying it, but did give him credit for obtaining a temporary permit. The deal worked out was surprisingly lenient, wiping out some charges while stacking up fines instead. Middleton balanced the carrot and stick, reminding Wilson that continued bad decisions could land him in jail, while also acknowledging his progress toward legitimacy. Autumn Baker's case showed another side of the judge's style. Facing yet another no insurance charge, she got a lecture on how risky it is to drive uninsured, not just for her, but for everyone else on the road. Middleton even dropped law school refresher on malum prohibitum versus malum in se offenses, pointing out that while paperwork violations aren't evil in themselves, they're still the rules. Baker managed to show she has insurance now, so the prosecutor reduced her charge to a civil infraction. Instead of scolding endlessly, the judge folded the new fine into her existing payment plan, showing practical compassion while still keeping the pressure on her to follow the law. The biggest shift in tone came with the landlord-tenant dispute, Riverside Estates v. Amanda Boyer. This wasn't a traffic matter, but a living conditions case, and Judge Middleton's concern for habitability came through loud and clear. He referenced visiting the Tri-Self, noting the troubling water and sanitation situation, and made no secret of his skepticism about the park's infrastructure. Still, he honored the settlement between the parties. Boyer and her family agreed to vacate by early October, and the escrow funds would be released to the landlord. The judge encouraged her to leave sooner for her own good, but kept the proceedings respectful and structured. You could tell he was glad to see resolution without pushing anyone into homelessness, even while voicing his concerns about the larger public health issues. Overall, the courtroom atmosphere was professional but never dry. Middleton mixed in humor, his quip about 1,000 days in jail, to snap Wilson back to attention comes to mind, with a steady hand that kept defendants grounded in reality. He's patient when needed, strict when the behavior calls for it, but always conversational enough to make the process human. This wasn't high drama. It was a steady reminder of how courts balance accountability, compassion, and practicality in the everyday cases that keep the system running. Time to break this one down. Judge Middleton managed a busy docket with humor and firmness. The defendants revealed plenty through their own words, and even the landlord case ended with a structured resolution. If you found this hearing insightful, consider subscribing, hitting the bell, and letting me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every one.